This week on Two Noobs, we bathe in the tears of Deadspin, now embroiled in a lawsuit because they falsely claimed a 9-year-old was racist. Good job, idiots. Next, deepfakes causing problems more concerning than just pretend celebrity porn. Then, in our People Be Stupid segment, why does the DOT have to tell people not to wear these while driving? Come on. And then finally, your phone apparently is not listening to you. Has John's tinfoil hat been busted? Find out. Am I a deepfake? Start the music. It is episode 176, the Septuacentennial. I don't know. I just, what?
Carry the one and...
Yeah. All right, it's episode 176, Two Noobs talking. Gentlemen, I hope you all had a better week than President Biden did. It was cringeworthy.
Well,
Slightly.
I would say my week was pretty meh. Didn't really do much, but that was pretty much it. So I think I probably accomplished more than the president did. I think that's saying something.
I definitely accomplished more than the president did, probably by the end of Monday.
But he's going to help with shrinkflation in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, he is.
We have that to look forward to.
7 more
wait for that.
Doritos.
Yeah.
Over under 85 takes for that spot. I'm calling it right now.
Got to watch out for those ice cream cards too. I mean, you got to watch out for them.
Yeah, I would say high 90s, so I'm definitely taking your over on that one.
By the way, it only took me one take to do the promo, so
hell yeah.
All right.
Bam.
Anyway, get that fist out of my face. Sorry, over here, right?
Yes,
go
sir.
This way? Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
All right, that is Jake from State Farm, John Tracy. Over here, we've got Mr. Clean, Matt Craig. I in the middle, I am Spuds McKenzie, Steve Murray, if you remember him.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh.
My favorites.
All right, gentlemen, before we get started, I have a thought.
Yes.
Because I heard what I thought was a crazy stat. At least I think I heard it correctly. And if it's true, I want a petition to change this.
Okay.
You are familiar with the Gordie Howe hat trick, correct, gentlemen?
Yes.
I am. Yeah.
Right, that is a goal, an assist, and a fight all in the same game. And the Flyer, Mr. Travis Konechny, had one of those the other night against...
Seattle?
No, not Seattle.
No, it was the game before that.
It was the game before Seattle. It was Winnipeg.
Yes.
There you go.
The Jets.
Against the Jets.
Winnipeg.
Change those jerseys back. I'm sorry.
Please, for the love of God.
So I believe I heard correctly. That one Gordie Howe of the Gordie Howe hat trick only ever had 2 Gordie Howe hat tricks in his career.
That's some bullshit. I think I did hear that stat.
Interesting.
The leader all time in Gordie Howe hat tricks is our very own Rick Tocchet with 18.
That would make sense.
Lifetime.
Rick Tocchet was more Gordie Howe than Gordie Howe if you're using the Gordie Howe.
And in a far shorter career, too.
Yes.
So if in fact I did hear correctly and those numbers are accurate, I hereby petition to change the name Gordie Howe hat trick to Rick Tocchet hat trick.
I second it. Yeah.
All opposed.
Yeah. No, nobody.
Right.
No,
No,
I like Rick
carries.
Tocchet.
Well, you didn't ask for the affirmative. All in favor.
No.
I did.
Fine.
Well, I said all opposed.
Yeah.
Nobody answered. So
Oh, well, there you go.
We're in.
There you go.
That's the same thing. So, Mr. Gary Bettman, you are on notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your announcers henceforth must refer to it as the Rick Tocchet hat trick.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Nothing more to say other than that, right?
Yeah, I'm
That's right.
I've lost for words there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, then that means we can roll into our Dubby Energy Fun Fact brought to you by Dubby Energy Drinks. Visit dubby.gg. It's DUBBY.gg. Enter the promo code 2Noobs Talking, TOONOO Talking. You can get 10% off your order. Today, I am pushing the Push and Punch.
Nice.
This is a fruit punch and lemon lime blend that actually sounds pretty tasty. With our promo code, you get $4 off a $40 tub. John, lay the facts on us, my friend. Push those facts.
Since it is the Super Bowl, I'm gonna give you a fun fact of how many times in the Super Bowl did we have a loser rematch like we have later today that no one's gonna watch anyway. That number is 9 times. So 9 times this BS has happened. So if you're not watching, watch extra episodes of Two Noobs. You don't have to watch Super Bowl. It's dumb.
I also recommend the Puppy Bowl.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
But watching extra episodes of Two Noobs is perfect.
Yeah, but if we get the Bud Bowl back, watch an episode, watch the Bud Bowl, and then you can watch another episode of ours.
Now, you want to talk about high quality entertainment. The Bud Bowl back then,
yeah,
man,
it was
come on.
Genius. It was genius.
Yeah. Football.
Genius.
Beer bottles together. Who would have thought? It would have been great. I mean, it was a great commercial. Awesome stuff. Yeah.
Eagles Patriots count as one of those times.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought so. Okay.
Yep.
Nope.
Very interesting. And
Steelers,
I'd be curious.
Steelers,
Steelers,
49ers.
I'll Cowboys, Bills, right?
Cowboys, Bills.
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
Cowboys, Bills in there.
We'll get a whole list together. Matt will throw up on a screen right now, so so we can make sure we get all of them.
I'm curious how many times.
Seriously?
There you go.
I'm curious how many times there was a flip. So, like the Eagles played the Patriots the first time the Patriots won, Eagles won the rematch. I'd be curious how many times the rematch was the reverse result.
Yeah.
I just looked down and saw that Dolphins Washington.
Yeah.
Was that
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have called that one.
7 and
Giants
17.
Patriots is another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rams Patriots is one. So yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only one. The only one we're missing is the 49ers Bengals.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, that's only they play each other twice. 16
that's
and
what
23.
I'm saying. That was the last one on the list. Yeah, last one on the list.
Got it. That was last one on the list. Okay.
I have Cowboys Steelers, 49ers Bengals, Eagles Patriots, Cowboys Bills, Rams Patriots, Giants Patriots, Bills Cowboys, and Dolphins Washington.
Wow. Huh.
And
so that's 8. Yeah,
Kansas
and
City,
of course Chiefs
Kansas City,
being,
Kansas City.
Yeah. Being
and
today.
that other team that I don't recognize. And will not be watching.
Yeah, I want to apologize too before we get started. I mean, I am wearing a Joe Montana jersey here.
Yes, apologize to the people.
Endorsing the 49ers in today's game.
Should have been a Chiefs jersey. It would have been better.
Super Bowl Sunday. What's that, John?
You should have had a Chiefs 19. That would have been
better. I guess so. Yeah, if I was consistent, I guess. But
yeah,
just he is the true GOAT of quarterbacks, Joe Montana. That is why and it is Super Bowl Sunday. Never threw an interception. I know you're wearing a John Unitas jersey. I know that.
I will argue. I will argue Johnny U. But I
would
give it to you right now.
Yes. Yeah. I guess I should got that by the modern era, but Johnny Unitas played also in the modern era too. So it's kind of like,
but Joe was better in the modern era. So if you just want to throw a modern era in there, I'll give you. Joe. I won't give you Tom Brady
years,
ever.
I guess I don't know.
Modern era to me is after I was born. That's what I consider the modern era.
So that would be Tom, but I don't recognize him as a quarterback. So moving on.
That's true.
All right. Now that we've offended many an NFL fan with our hot takes, let's go to the over 40 rant. John, you have double duty today.
Yes, I do. Because
this is making up for that week you missed. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this slimy son of a bitch I'm going to talk about. So I was at a gas station where I normally spend time at during the week. I was at a gas station in lovely northern Austin, having the time of my life, doing my job. Okay. And I have safety cones and flags, and I have an array of safety equipment around me, so you do not come near me, because that is the goal of what I do during the day. I watched a 2001 Toyota Corolla drive into the gas station. And for some reason, God put my eyes right on this car when it pulled in. And I watched it drive in to look for a gas pump to get gasoline. Drive at us, who we are, we look like lights. We have a lot of color. Notice that we are there. Make a left into the gas pump, drive between two gas pumps and leave. It made no sense.
Wow.
So they wanted to use the gas pump in which we were at, which was completely coned off and you couldn't use that one. When they failed to turn in and couldn't use that one, they decided to go through, because there was one over here and one here.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
through that space where normally trash cans are. There happened to not be a trash can there. Go through that.
Wow.
And then just speed off and leave. And I wonder, like, what was going through that, but like, what? Why? Like, there were like 7 other ones. Like, you could have just
gonna ask, were
you
there
could have pulled straight
pumps?
Oh, there were plenty. You could have pulled straight and then pulled back around. You could have went to that one, this one, and this one over here, that one over here, this one over here. The thing that confused me was, so this one was not available. But why do you pull through them? Like,
don't know.
There's not much room between them.
That's another thing. I can't picture myself trying to drive through 2 pumps. I mean, usually, the other thing too is usually aren't the pumps like up and elevated?
Yes,
but there's a curb-like kind of thing. So it's not like
there is
room.
There is room. I mean, if you want to try it, don't. But if you want to try it, there is room. But normally there's trash cans and other things, fire extinguishers hanging off of poles. Like there's enough at a gas station that doesn't make it ideal to drive directly through them. Like,
right.
I still can't, and I've been doing this for a while, I still can't figure this out, what the left turn was for after the failed experience. Like, what was going through the brain of this person? Like,
so if you do own that Toyota Corolla, you were invited to Too Noobs to explain yourself.
And I want to point out, the last thing I want to point out is that the pump that they drove through, the other one, the one that would be on their right side, was completely available.
Wow, John.
Wide open. Like there was nothing in the way. Me and my coworker looked at each other. We looked at the cars that was driving away. We looked back at each other. We looked at the car that was driving away. We looked back at each other. We had no words. We kind of went, and then just went back to what we were doing.
It's like, okay.
It was bizarre.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, we will get to stupid drivers coming up in a couple segments.
Yeah.
But with your permission, gentlemen, we can move into topic 1.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. I remember this story when it happened, or when the first story happened.
Yeah.
But now things have gone from bad to worse for one Deadspin. So during the Chiefs game against the Las Vegas Raiders back in November, one Holden Armenta, 9, was captured by CBS Nasal Passage Sports Camera News wearing team colors across his entire face, as well as a Native American headdress. However, after painting his face black and red, cameras initially only caught the black half of the face, leading to accusations of blackface from Deadspin's Karen J. Phillips.
Phillips later wrote that human being, all-around great human being, this guy. Yeah.
Phillips later wrote that Armenta had, quote, found a way to hate black people and the Native Americans at the same time with his face paint at the game. Following the article, fans were quick to point out that Armenta actually had the other half of his face painted red too, and was merely wearing Kansas City's colors before the youngster's family revealed they are also Native Americans themselves.
Yep.
Oops. The Armentas are now suing Deadspin for defamation after their son was branded racist by Phillips. It is alleged that his parents, Shannon and Raul, taught the child racism and hate at home. It intentionally painted a picture of the Armenta family as anti-black, anti-Native American bigots who proudly engaged in the worst kind of racist conduct, motivated by their family's hatred for black and Native Americans. You know what happens when we assume, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Well, it did make an ass out of me, but it definitely made an ass out of him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. And hopefully this family can get their pound of flesh, eh, John?
I hope so. I hope just give them Deadspin. Just give them the whole thing. Like, not even money. Just give them the whole thing. Let them decide who stays and who goes, and maybe they can put some respect back on a news organization, which that it never had. But maybe we can.
I was gonna say an outlet called Deadspin doesn't seem like.
Yeah, but it's a cool name if you're actually throwing out real news. It could be a cool name. If you're throwing out real news, but if you're not throwing out real news, it just makes you look liberal and shitty, which they are. So, good luck getting out of this one, fellas.
I don't know how much. Yeah, I was just going to say, Steve, like I with the article, I don't know if it was written in there saying how much they're seeking, the family. I mean,
I didn't see that in these articles specifically, and I did not pull the complaint. So
I honestly would want to see this just go away. Deadspin. I mean, I just would want to see them just go away. They are a worthless excuse for sports. I guess you could call them journalists.
No, you
website. No, yeah, it's like I'm struggling with the words because it's like this kind of stuff to automatically assume that this person is so negative that he must be branded a racist for life with no hope, and to find out that it wasn't exactly that.
A 9-year-old.
Yeah, a 9-year-old kid. I mean, I don't even know what to say in regards to this because it's like they're just a pathetic organization. That's what they are. They're pathetic. They need to go away. And I really do hope that this family finds a way either to buy, John, to your point, I hope they buy the company.
They should just be given it.
Just shut the doors. Just give it the Sports Illustrated treatment and shut the doors. Because like if you're going to openly, blatantly lie about somebody, I mean, go ahead and you do you, but you're not going to get any readers anymore. Like it's over. It's done at this point. I don't know.
Go ahead, John.
I agree. I think we've covered some lawsuits that were $5-6 million for ridiculous things. I just say let's 3 times that. For mental anguish for the 9-year-old, we'll just times 3, and that's probably what they should get. Because this is a serious allegation that they're suing for. We've heard ridiculous. They go up to 5 million. So 3 times that. I think 15 to 18 million does fine. And Patrick Mahomes has to kiss this dude's butt for the rest of his life. There we go.
It's defamation of character. An unwarranted defamation of character.
You're absolutely right.
And then on top of that, their apology in quotes. Are you kidding me? It was like barely an apology. So, I mean, if you don't have the balls, I'll just say this, since you don't have any balls to make an apology,
there you go.
You deserve not to be in the public square. I would much rather them come out and say, hey, look, listen, guys, we totally erred on this. At least there would be some modicum of respect at that point.
Yeah,
but since they have no respect,
given. Well, since you bring it up, might as well tackle it.
Fire, man.
So here's the
let's go, Matt.
Here's the half-hearted apology that was made to the Armenta family after receiving a backlash over the story. And they said Phillips's piece was intended to point the finger at the NFL over its checkered history on race. Any suggestion that we are attacking the fan. To that end, our story was updated on December 7th to remove any photos, tweets, links, or otherwise identifying information about the fan. We have also revised the headline to better reflect the substance of the story. A week before the backtracking statement, however, the Armenta's father had already insisted it was too late for apologies. Okay,
agreed.
so the article that was about a fan who you claimed was racist against black people and Native Americans, which turned out not to be true. It was actually an article about the NFL and its checkered history.
So then why not go with that then? I mean, focuses. That sounds right. That story.
Yes. Yeah. Have some bosses say Roger Goodell's a racist. I do it all the time. It's simple. It's simple.
John has no problem throwing that accusation out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
but you're right. This is defamation of character. You have a 9-year-old kid who now, I think most people who follow the story, who know the story, realize that this is all bullshit and this kid is not what Phillips claims he was. But you're going to have some segment of the population who has not heard the retraction, who doesn't know, or just claims not to believe it because they're freaking morons.
Yeah.
And so there are people who are going to treat this kid poorly because they think he did something wrong. He was not in the wrong whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which scares me because nobody reads Deadspin. So how are you gonna see the retraction? That scares me in itself.
I'd also love to know where the retraction was. Is it like when the New York Times issues a retraction on page 18 and tiny 8-point font in the left-hand corner?
It was in the all rights reserved at the bottom of their website below that, before their Facebook, Twitter link.
Guys, this is really a big-time problem, though, for the media. Don't you think? Like, at the end of the day, like, a lot of just seems like the leaping of assumptions, assume the worst. And it's like, not everybody out there is bad, but to assume the worst of a 9-year-old kid, what on earth are you doing? Honestly, it's just not a good look for the media at all.
No.
They were already trashed to begin with. But this just further damages their already pathetic reputation in this country. In this regard. I'm sorry for bringing the heat, but it's like
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
I've never liked the media. I've never liked them for this very reason, guys. Honestly.
This, and I hate to bring it up, but this puts me in mind of what recently happened with our local hockey team. When a goaltender who shall not be named took a leave of absence without explanation at the time, the media was very quick to. They didn't put out the accusation for this very reason. I think they didn't want to, if they were wrong.
But they kept mentioning it.
Trouble.
Yeah, they kept mentioning it over and over again.
But the difference is they had dots they could connect, and they didn't connect them themselves. They just laid them out there. It's like, hey, this other guy who was on the 2018 junior team also took a leave of absence. 3 other guys have just taken a leave of absence. The London Police Department's going to accuse 5 people. There's 5 people. We'll let you make a conclusion. But they didn't come out outright and say, Carter Hart's going to get charged with sexual assault in 2 weeks' time because of this very reason. And this guy apparently doesn't have the filter. And instead of doing investigations on his own to find out, what was up with this kid? What's he doing? No, it was immediately, his face is painted black. It must be blackface. And he's wearing a Native American headdress. So he's prejudiced against Native Americans and black people. I'm putting pen to paper immediately, and I'm going to win a Pulitzer for this.
And that's the point, Steve. That's the point I'm making. Mm-hmm. The idea now that the journalism in this country is more speculative than actual investigation.
100%
Tell me what happened, putting all the questions in who, what, where, why, when, all of those questions. None of that makes any sense. It's all about how can I speculate this article to make this amount of people kind of go, whoa, I don't know, we'll implicate this person or we'll implicate that person. That person over there must be racist because he's doing X, Y, Z. And it comes out later that it's not even close. You're not even doing any sort of legitimate investigation. How pathetic do you have to be as a journalist to not interview these people, not talk to them, not get to know them, at least try and find out, that's what it is. He's wearing this because it's part of his own heritage, for God's sakes. He's wearing this at a football game because he loves his own heritage. That would be an amazing positive story. But no, instead, we got to go down the other direction, throw everybody under the bus and throw this kid under the bus. To make me look good. It's like, are you kidding me with this?
He's taking the easy way out.
He totally is. And you know what?
And he's rightly getting thrown under the bus for it as well. So,
and to add on to your point of journalism, look at the PR department when they throw out their apology. I saw an apology. I won't bring up what I saw the apology for, but it was a very egregious act in New York City, and me and my wife were talking about it earlier today. Their apology fit the crime. It was well thought out. It was well written. This is pen to paper. hey, Matt, do me a favor. I screwed up. Can you write me a fucking absence letter? Because, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And you're just like, he kind of gave a shit, but he really didn't. Here you go. We'll just put that out there.
I guess I'm the PR intern, so I guess what I'll do is I'll just write this bullshit and see what this could do. Yeah.
That's what that comes off as. So not just the journalist looks bad. The entire company looks bad because your PR department sucks just as much as your writer.
Your sports writer still. Yeah.
It goes back to what Matt says frequently, which is nobody wants to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. They want to avoid that at all costs. And that's what this apology smelled like. But just to go back to Matt's point on the journalism again, it's not enough to be right. You have to be first, and you have to stand out from everyone else so you can make a name for yourself. So it's, I'm going to call this 9-year-old to the carpet because I'm going to show my moral outrage and people are going to get behind me, or he might have done it for the backlash, not realizing the backlash might end up costing you, defamatory money.
Yeah.
So this is, you're right. This is non-journalism at its poorest.
Yes.
I guess is a good example.
So I hope it gets taken down. I hope. I'm not crossing my fingers, though. Well, maybe I am.
And I would actually like to issue an apology. I was wrong last week on the percentage of a mile that the yards in Super Bowl 52 constituted. However, my mistake was in confusing yards and feet. Had we been talking about feet, I would have been right, but I was mixed up between yards and feet. So,
memo to Deadspin writers: this is exactly what it is when it talks about integrity.
Yeah,
moving on.
Integrity.
That sounded like an apology. Wow. Good job, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Used words and stuff.
All right.
Well, we move on to topic 2, gentlemen. And for all those that are concerned that Taylor Swift is being taken advantage of by AI-created fake porn,
oh boy,
we have a bigger problem.
Yes.
With the deep fakes, people.
No doubt.
So this article from CNN, a finance worker at a multinational firm was tricked into paying out $25 million to fraudsters with an M, using deepfake technology to pose as the company's chief financial officer in a video conference call, according to Hong Kong police. The worker was duped into attending a video call with what he thought were several other members of staff, but all of whom were in fact deepfake recreations.
Wow.
The worker had grown suspicious after he received a message that was purportedly from the company's UK-based chief financial officer. Initially, the worker suspected it was a phishing email, as it talked of the need for a secret transaction to be carried out. I think we've probably all seen one of those in our daily lives that they, if you're trained properly, you don't respond.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You know where to click to look at things to make sure that, hey, is this from this? No, it's no.
No.
5672 at yahoo.com is not.
It's not my boss.
It's not what a CEO is running his email account.
Yeah.
However, the worker put aside his early doubts after the video call because other people in attendance had looked and sounded just like colleagues he recognized.
Wow.
Believing everyone else
Yikes.
on the call was real, the worker agreed to remit a total of $25.6 million.
Wow.
John's right. We were trained to, hey, the email address doesn't look right. But one of the other things you do is if you're not sure, you call the person.
Yes, directly.
The email is usually like, hey, I'm not in the office. I need you to transfer $5 million to this account to pay for something. I'm in a meeting. And you say, screw you, I'm calling you anyway, because that's a lot of money over my head. So you call them, and they say, what email are you talking about? And that's when you can confirm.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I recently...
this guy seems to have followed the logic, and he's screwed.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. John, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I recently had an email from a secretary somebody high up in the company that said, hey, I had recently changed my phone number, my work phone number. So I had 2 work phone numbers in the system for like a day or two. Okay. So it was like, hey, this person's trying to reach out to you. This is the secretary of this person. We're just trying to make sure that the number is correct. This is someone that I wouldn't talk to daily. My immediate response was, hey, I know we get a lot of spam. The email address checks out, but I'm just making sure this isn't spam. And laughter came from the other side. I said, oh, no, we totally understand it. Thanks for checking on that. But no, this is real. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I clicked on the link to schedule the meeting. But I could see how when you follow the breadcrumbs and they all check out, like, can this guy really be held accountable because it's checking out for him?
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's holding him accountable, but Matt, I'm concerned that the technology is now at a point where you can be duped not by a phishing email, which can be easy to recognize, but somebody on a video call. How do I know you're not deepfake Matt trying to steal my credit card information right now?
He is deepfake Matt. We put this all together 175 episodes ago just to get your credit card information, Steve.
Yeah, no, Steve, I share your absolute legit concern there, obviously. Yeah, because it's been for years, ever since I've been working back in the late 90s, we were always, you could tell after a while, once you get trained, oh, this is a phishing email, okay, you could delete this, or, there's a button you can report it, or something along those lines. This scares me. This is literally like you're on a Zoom call, you're remote, and then all of a sudden, somebody just hops right in. They infiltrated your own network. That in of itself is scary.
And
where's your IT department?
Sounds like your boss. Yeah, and it looks and sounds like your boss. So what are you going to do?
Exactly, Johnny. Right, exactly. And I think that the protocols clearly were not in place fully with this company to say, okay, well, if this does happen, a lot of it is all about contingency planning too, making sure that you limit your risk in terms of what you do internally.
Yeah.
Some of the best companies I've worked for have really good like processes and procedures in place. That if something were strange to come along, you're basically have an idea of like, okay, well, if this doesn't sound right, I'm going to go to this person and see what they say. Yes. And then you go to this person, and you go to that person, you go up the chain of command. For this to happen, oh my gosh, yeah, I it didn't sound like the office worker was fired, which I think would have been egregious by the company to do.
Yeah,
but clearly, I think they need a revision of their IT, as well as any other organization when it comes to tech or something like this. With the artificial intelligence we're talking about, right? You're talking more technology in that regard that's coming into the fray. You got to stay on top of these things, otherwise you're going to lose money, and that kind of thing. It's like
the thing that worries me. The thing that worries me about this is they targeted someone that has the ability to transfer that kind of money.
Yes.
So it's not like they're just faking out the secretary to, you know what I mean? To, hey, this is an email from the CEO or anything. This is a targeted operation.
Yeah, I mean, they infiltrated their IT department, which is really scary. It's like that's got to be your top security level. Yeah.
I totally agree. To me.
The scary part to me is more. First off, how did they get enough information that they could make this guy look and sound like himself?
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's one thing, if you're going to do a Christopher Walken deep fake. That's one thing, because you have plenty of tape on him. You could feed into an AI machine, and you could probably get something reasonable to spit out of it. Maybe this particular CFO or CEO is popular and does a lot of press conferences or something. I don't think people at my organization, you'd have a lot to go on if you try to deep fake them, but
probably the same with my company too. I mean, he does appearances, but everybody's pretty much working remotely. So if you do that, we have our own network at work. So it's not like we're going to be like, we're not broadcasting this out in front of like the world of what we're doing, that kind of a deal. Right. But if you're talking multinational companies, which this was, and you don't have, how easy is it, guys, for anybody, any hacker can come in and try and infiltrate a particular system. We've seen this with Sony. We've seen it with Samsung. We've seen it with all kinds of companies.
Facebook had issues with it. Microsoft had issues with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even those, and they are large companies. They had issues with people being able to circumvent their system.
But $25 million, my God, that would even cause a red flag. It's easy for us to, like, you know, on this podcast to kind of say, oh yeah, well, I wouldn't have done that. But $25 million, I don't know how you wire that kind of money to anybody, honestly.
But the shame of it is, this guy seems like he did everything he would have been trained to do.
Everything,
out of protection.
It doesn't seem like he walked out of the protocol at all. He double checked and triple checked everything from what the article says.
He got on a video call with the
That's
CEO.
what I'm saying. Like, it seems like he did everything he was supposed to do.
It's
not like. And I'm pretty sure we could find another article that is written a different way, that he got the fucking text message and sent 25 million this way. But this article lays it out perfectly. Like, he did his due diligence. He understood that there could be phishing email. So he took it to the next level, and then he wasn't satisfied there. So he took it to the next level.
Really amazing.
They had him beat at every level.
Yeah.
What always had me not as concerned about kind of deep faking videos was, if you remember that Star Wars Rogue One movie.
Yep.
From a few years ago, when they brought back Governor Tarkin, who had been dead the actor had been dead for years.
Oh, good Lord.
And they brought back Carrie Fisher, who had been recently deceased.
Yeah.
And she had a spot in the movie. And when you watch that movie, you know, it was a reasonable facsimile, but you could tell there was something little bit off about both of them.
Yeah.
And this is a studio that put hundreds of millions of dollars into that film, and they can't pull off a convincing human complete fabrication out of a computer. And yet this guy could be fooled into thinking his CEO was on the other side of a camera talking to him to tell him to move $25 million. That's frightening.
Yeah, it is.
It
absolutely
gotten to this point. And this is not the only instance. Let me just get to this real quick.
Yeah, please.
There have been several recent episodes in which fraudsters are believed to have used deepfake technology to modify publicly available video and other footage to cheat people out of money. 8 stolen Hong Kong identity cards, all of which have been reported as lost by their owners, were used to make 90 loan applications and 54 bank account registrations between July and September last year.
Wow.
And on at least 20 occasions, AI deepfakes had been used to trick facial recognition programs by imitating the people pictured on the identity cards, according to police.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, no words in that regard, Steve. I mean, it just goes to show you the heightened level of security that all firms need to employ. And really, it's unfortunate because now it's like you're on the defensive, and you have to be on the defensive because a lot of these hackers are on the offensive, and they will try and come up with any sort of way to steal any kind of data and to move money from point A to point B. I mean, that's just the bottom line, unfortunately. And until that, you know, we're always going to be a step behind, but
what can we do about it?
I have great advice from our IT department. We're a pretty big company. They gave us very good information when talking about the phishing emails and any text message or anything. And the one thing, and I tell people this all the time, if you're not dealing with that person at least once or twice or 3 times a week, that email should be double or triple checked. Like, because people don't randomly email you outside your group.
Right.
Like, it's not like you're not going to get an email. I'm sorry, you're not going to get an email from your CEO. You're not going to get an email from the chief financial officer. You're not getting those emails. If you get an email from, Ted 5, offices down, like, that's normal for me to talk to Ted 5 times a week. But
Ted's not going to ask you to transfer $25 million.
Exactly. But if the CEO comes in and is like, hey, I need you to transfer X amount of time, I don't talk to, maybe I've had one conversation with you.
Yeah.
In 15 years. but that's what these hackers are prying on.
Yeah.
People not thinking, people just doing, oh, I have to because this. And this one shows this guy did all the work he could to avoid it, and he still couldn't avoid it. But things can be avoided very quickly. Just knowing your role and kind of, hey, I don't get emails from this person. Let me double check with IT because, or well, like I said earlier, click on the name and it'll show you the email address. And if it's 123@AOL.com, your CEO isn't running that email address.
Yeah. Probably also too, Steve, in regards to your question, I would, from a financial perspective, more controls. I would say you have to have at least a couple layers of additional approvals if you're going to move that kind of money. Immediate supervisor, manager, and then VP of finance ops, and then you go to your CFO just to confirm before that money is sent out. That's pretty much like any other organization I've worked for has that kind of like extra layer, additional layers of security.
Absolutely.
You're going through, you're verifying all this happened, all that kind of stuff. They'll just take somebody's word for it, research the idea, and then if it's really unusual, then you tell someone. It's always better to tell, ask questions. Don't just blindly assume, because if you blindly assume, you could end up like Deadspin. But
there is no CEO. There's no CEO in the world that would come to your office and go, I can't believe you went to your supervisor when I asked you to do something. There's not a CEO on the planet, whether good or bad, is never going to say that. Ever.
Great point. Yeah.
Now, henceforth, all financial transactions done with me have to be done in person. Thanks a lot, IT jerks. Deepfake Matt, we're gonna promo the website now. No deepfakes on there. That's Too Noobs talking.wordpress.com. It's TOONOO talking, just like the promo code. If you go there, you can watch this episode. You can watch prior episodes. It'll even give you a link to really, really old episodes back on YouTube when John and Matt were just babies pulling the thing along. And if you don't like watching our ugly mugs, you can also get some audio podcast options there where you can listen to us on your car radio. And if your favorite isn't there, you can take our RSS feed, plug it into your podcatcher, and listen to us any way you damn well please.
Love it.
But
only
Matt,
if it's on a Bose speaker, because I don't none of the cheap Walmart stuff. I only want to be heard in a Bose.
Only so John can get really bassy in his voice. But Matt, we should like, share, and subscribe, right?
Oh, heck yeah. Give us a 5-star review too. I mean, all that kind of good stuff. You can find us out there, Apple, Google, Spotify, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we'd love to hear from our audience too. Comment below, share, all that kind of good stuff. So
just make sure it's you and not deepfake.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
And don't yell at
us.
us.
If you're positive the deepfaker, then we'll take it. That kind of a deal. So
we're going to drive up our subscriptions with some deepfakes, eh, boys?
Apparently, Johnny Depp loves our podcast. Just
love it. Oh my gosh.
Hashtag Johnny Depp.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Anyway, topic 3 as we roll along here in episode 176. Engadget article. Apparently, the government has to worry about stupid people on the road now. Apple has,
not just stupid people in the office, stupid people on the road.
Stupid people on the road.
Apple released the Vision Pro recently, which is a $3,500 pair of, VR, things. AR, whatever.
Matt will deepfake my middle fingers up.
Wow. And this year, to your surprise, has Matt questioning his Apple loyalty.
Very much
$3,500 piece of equipment. However, an owner of one was seen wearing it while driving down the highway in a Tesla Cybertruck.
Yep, saw the video. Yep, it actually happened.
Problematic, as Pete Buttigieg had to step in and issue a warning reminding people to use common sense. In a post on X, it said all advanced driver assistance systems available today require the human driver to be in control and fully engaged in the driving task at all times. This isn't iRobot, people. Apple's headset also ships with multiple warnings advising users not to use it while operating a moving vehicle or in any other situations requiring attention to safety. Now, the creator of the video, Dante Lentini, told Gizmodo that the footage was a skit made with friends and that the headset was only worn for 30 to 40 seconds while driving. And frankly, that's 30 to 40 seconds too much.
Too long.
Agreed.
In my opinion.
Too long.
Agreed.
John, you probably share the road with this idiot. What say you?
Just real quick, the fact that they said that Buttigieg used some common sense is they just threw that in. That was a shot. That was that was a shot. That was a
more like
shot.
a joke, probably, but yeah.
They took a shot at him.
Wow.
Yeah, Buttigieg not smart guy. Yeah, I saw the video. It was more deep fake than the other guy. Like, I saw it immediately. He's making a joke about it. It's just dumb to even make a joke about it because
Now,
people that don't have things in their hands, like I've talked about on the podcast before, eating cereal, putting makeup on, driving with your feet, driving with one leg out the car. I've seen it all.
I bet you have. Yeah.
It's ridiculous that we have to be at this point of society. We have to remind you not to put a video game on your face and then drive your Tesla cybercar that might drive by itself, but might not drive by itself, but might break down and might run through a guardrail. You never know. There's a million things that thing could do that we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Might turn into a transformer. We don't know yet. I don't trust Elon Musk. Do you?
Not particularly, no.
And you'll be the battery sticking out of its ass. Matt, you question your loyalty?
I have. This is probably the stupidest invention that Apple has ever created in the history of the world. Steve Jobs, I think, would be going like, are you kidding me with all of this? No, we're not doing this. Talking about it with the illustrious family around the dinner table as we were celebrating my mother's birthday over the weekend, gentlemen.
Two Noobs, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Love it. My sister openly said, I'm terrified of this thing. I cannot believe this has been in the workplace. And I couldn't agree with her more. I think it has, I don't see the purpose of it. It's like you're in an augmented reality. All the apps are in front of you where you have to tap your fingers like this. That is so bizarre and so weird. And like even Riverside had something, gents, where they were like, oh yeah, this might be the future of podcasting.
God help us.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, not our podcast.
Yeah.
We'll shut this thing down. Doing that.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, it shouldn't take the Department of Transportation head to actually say some common sense. You shouldn't wear this thing when you're out walking around in public.
I would hope that.
Quite frankly, I'm surprised it hasn't been stolen yet by anybody, just lifting it.
Well, that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
I'm sure we can find articles, but I wouldn't call Pete Buttigieg a serious Secretary of Transportation. So
that's true.
That's just
very true.
Maybe in a couple of years. Maybe a few years from now we'll have a transportation secretary that actually has ideas.
But $3,500, gentlemen. Oh my goodness gracious! That's a lot
of money just to run into your own cabinet because you get scared of a game. And that's all I see online. So that's what I assume happens when you play those games is you lose sense of reality and you hurt yourself.
Yes.
That's all I see in the game. I understand, like, if you're a kid and you're playing on VR and you're laying in a bed or sitting in the chair and you're not like running around, it's probably cool. But us old ass folks that are doing it standing up, we're only going to hurt ourselves.
Johnny, it's also bad enough too when you have people kind of looking at their phones like this. They're just like, and they're looking down as opposed to looking up straight ahead and walking.
I watched a human being. I sent this email actually. I think I sent it Saturday to work as we call them things that we basically see, like the person that drove through the car. Like that was in that email too. Person that drove through the thing. I watched a guy, no joke, at a gas station jump in his pickup truck while on Twitter, back his pickup truck while he was on Twitter.
Oh.
Didn't look in a
Wow.
mirror, didn't look in any mirror. Like it was like this. And then started driving while he was looking at it. Well, it blows me away what people are willing to do.
Yeah. And the moment that you put a goggled thing in front of you that basically, let's face it, it obstructs your vision of what you're supposed to do when you're driving, anticipation, going ahead of what's going on. This is not good, gents. I'm just not.
It's not safe.
Not liking this at all, Steve.
Well, putting the driving aside, so this is a VR headset, right? So your phone, it takes your phone, you put it in there.
Yep.
You put a video on. You cannot see your external surroundings. So you had better be seated when you're using this.
Yeah.
Although they have the versions, as John said, where you're like standing up and you're punching vegetables flying at your face at 100 miles an hour.
I don't know why you would do that.
What do you want? So you end up punching your television screen or your wall, you break your hand, and you're an idiot.
Oh.
The augmented reality, which I understand the Vision Pro is, you can see through it, and there are things overlaid. I feel like that's just more dangerous because despite the warnings you're going to get, and I'm not even talking about driving, I'm just talking about people walking down the street wearing one of these things.
Nature,
whatever.
Ever.
They think, well, because I can see through it, I can wear it while I'm doing a task. And either one, the overlay is going to block something critical in your vision, and you're going to get your ass knocked out.
Yeah.
Or you are going to, despite the fact that you can see through it, you're going to be focused on whatever the thing is on the screen. People can't multitask and do two visual tasks at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh, I better hit that orange in the face. Oh, I just got run over by a truck because I didn't see it coming.
Hey, how come I'm in the hospital now?
Yeah, right.
Right?
You're right, Matt. This is a stupid idea.
Steve Jobs would not be putting this out in the marketplace.
No.
I mean, Bill Gates is rolling over in his grave and he's not dead or in charge of Apple.
Or he could be dead and in charge of Apple. We don't know.
We don't know. That's right.
All right. It could be a deep fake Bill Gates.
Yes, we have no idea.
This I was okay because you kind of know that it's impossible to do everyday tasks while you're gaming.
Yeah.
I would hope.
I think 99.999% of people understand you can't, walk down the street with one of these on.
Oh.
But the minute you give them that capability, even if all the warning stickers on the box on the thing say, sit your ass down while you're playing it.
Yeah.
They're going to be ignored because I've seen, it's in my textbooks from law school. Dumbass cut his finger off with a circular saw and sued despite the fact that the manual had in huge letters, do not remove the blade guard.
Yeah.
And what did he do?
Yeah.
He removed the friggin' blade guard.
Because wouldn't you?
Why not? Those warning signs, they're just suggestions.
Yeah.
The emphasis of the words "do not." I mean, that's just a suggestion.
I mean, those type of people that require the little disclaimers on the commercials for Legos that say Legos do not actually move on their own. Those stupid people who ruined life for the rest of us.
Yes.
Why are we giving them more tools to be dumbasses with?
I read warning labels with wonder and amusement when I read them. I think about why that label is on there and how did that happen? And it takes me hours of my life are like, that is an interesting. Don't lick the hard drive of this computer. What scenario did this
what happened there?
I want to know. If you had a TV show that covered warning labels and told me what happened, I would never leave the house.
That would probably be one of the more higher rated shows on
I think so.
television history. If you had somebody actually doing something stupid.
Gentlemen, they had that program. They had that program. It was called Jackass.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know why there's...
And I watched it, and I loved it. So
Do not stick cattle prod up your nose. I wonder what idiot decided that was a good idea. And they had to put a warning label on it because they got sued for it.
Amazing.
But that's my point, guys.
Yeah.
Why are we giving them more opportunities for dumbassery?
Oh,
I understand Apple is money drives things, and the AR stuff, we're getting carried away.
but even so, like from a marketing standpoint, okay, that headset that you have, Steve, right? I mean, that was mostly, it's an entertainment-driven market. So you have that, but then Apple had to say, well, you know what, we're going to take away the iPhone, essentially, and put it all on a screen in front. So that way you have your apps all in front of you in this augmented reality. You can press it.
As you get splatted in the face with a train. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
And
this
you don't need that. You don't need to do that.
This is the part of
John.
society where we have to admit that we're bored and things aren't coming out quick enough for us. We're bored. So these companies are taking advantage of us. And
we're not appreciating, everything around us either, John, to your point.
Yeah.
Well, I can't enjoy this. I can't enjoy this mountain view unless I have an app that I can push right here, to snap a picture. Because I can't just do this.
Yeah.
There is a lot of time in my life in the last 8 years that I've seen some really cool shit that I didn't put on Facebook because I didn't have my phone. And you know what? For everybody else, but I got to see it. I still remember it.
Yeah. And that's a memory, but to your point, that's a memory that you always are going to have for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of thing that we need to just take into consideration more, right? At the end of the day, we need to understand that not everything has to be photographed. Everything can be just absorbed in. Like, I was walking around or biked around Valley Forge, and you want to talk about like a fun time. I was biking all over the place and seeing all the hills and all that kind of neat stuff. It's amazing when you see that and you're not tied to the phone and you're not tied to a computer screen all day. It's great to be.
That's a good message to parents.
Yes.
At your child's concert, okay, I snap a single picture of my son before he plays, and I put the phone down and I enjoy the performance. And yet you have people who decide they'd rather watch it through their phone for the whole performance and record it for later. You're not going to watch it later. You know that.
Yeah.
Let's be real, people.
Yeah.
You are not going to sit there and watch the concert on your phone 2 years from now. In fact, if you still have that recording 2 years from now, because you've probably gone through 3 iPhones in the meantime, I would be shocked. So sit there and watch your child perform and get the memory.
Yeah,
because this ain't going to help you.
Enjoy it.
Just for other people, I have older kids. They don't even care about that performance. So why should you?
Well, right. Just enjoy the moment is the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's right. And now we've come to the part where John and his conspiracies are about to be confronted and perhaps put to rest.
Where's my tinfoil hat? What's going on over here? Maybe I need to get that.
Well, we have a Gizmodo article sponsored by Facebook.
I don't have tinfoil in the house, so I've just debunked that.
Gizmodo is sponsored by John's company, Facebook. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, right.
Oh boy.
To hide the truth. Well, let's see. Here's what they had to say.
Okay.
John may or may not be convinced. We'll find out. So, the myth that your phone's microphone is constantly on and is listening to your conversations and selling that data to advertisers is one of the most pervasive myths about technology. Gizmodo dug into this, and the first article from a major news outlet they can find was from May 2016. WFLA Esophageal News Channel 8 website.
Okay, it's gotten a little weird. Eyeball news. Let's go eyeball news.
That article.
Large intestine news. Go on.
Large intestine news, including the colon. The article quotes University of South Florida professor of communications Kelly Burns.
That sounds expensive.
But Burns never actually said Facebook was listening to you. So it was largely a misunderstanding that produced the myth, but it's not a coincidence that it occurred in 2016 Apparently, that was around the time Facebook started ramping up its targeted advertising. Facebook now has completely abused the data it has been using, getting wrapped up in the Cambridge Analytica scandal just 2 years after the myth took off. And Vice added fuel to this fire in 2018, publishing an article saying, "Your phone is listening and it's not paranoia." The article then mentions later on that your phone isn't actually recording you, but only does so when you say, "Hey Siri" or "Okay Google." Which just popped up on my screen. How about that?
Isn't that cute?
How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry. She can't tell me what's on my screen. Now, how do you close this goddamn thing?
X.
Escape.
X.
All right, good. How about that for live entertainment?
Yes.
Okay,
I didn't
John,
plan that, by the way. That wasn't my conspiracy. I did not plan that. I'm not hacking your Chromebook for $25 million.
You never know what happens on an episode of Two Noobs, which I absolutely love. Anyway, Johnny.
That's right.
I have one question for Matt. Where in the left wing did you find this fucking? Jeez.
Well, to be honest with you,
this has Robert Kennedy written all over it.
When we were doing pre-production, to get a little background story here, Steve and I were doing pre-production this week, and
I was sleeping.
Couldn't find a fourth article
tired.
at all. Yeah, we couldn't find a fourth article at all. We're looking. I can't find anything. It's like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow. You never know what's going to happen. Next thing you know, wake up tomorrow morning or next morning on Friday. I go and I find this article, and it's perfect. It's right up the alley.
So Zuckerberg planted this in your brain
had to
because
you
were
probably
because you were on Facebook when you were thinking about it, and he totally was like, "We're gonna put this right in that brain."
I'm gonna go to the kitchen right now and get some tinfoil. I'll be right back.
the evil, whatever they called that guy that was Senator Palpatine, whatever they called him, the Sith Lord. Yeah, that is that guy. Yeah, that is Zuckerberg.
Well, he saw Matt was on Facebook. He's like, well, this will shut those two noobs up if I tell them I'm recording them secretly.
Yeah.
He's trying.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, according to the article, John, this is what really happens on your phone. You may be typing your thoughts into your phone more than you realize. So, yes, you may have talked about booking a trip to Hawaii.
I agree.
Did you also briefly Google how much flight costs? Did you ask what the best hikes in Maui were? Did you ask for about beautiful restaurants inside a volcano? The bounty of evidence that advertisers can use your search queries, social media usage, and cookies to build a superbly accurate picture of you. And so that information is tracked by advertisers. They don't even need your microphone.
Agreed.
Also, researchers from Northeastern University tackled this myth in 2018. They tested Facebook, Instagram, and over 17,000 other apps, found 0 instances of an app unexpectedly activating your microphone and sending audio out when not prompted to do so. It's funny, though, because it says for iPhones, an orange dot appears at the top of your screen to indicate your microphone is in use. Because they couldn't turn that off if they're trying to be clandestine. I mean,
no, they don't know how. They don't know how to do that, but they can.
I'm checking it right now. No orange dot. I'm good.
Let's see.
There you go. Well, John, does this research from Northeastern University have you convinced?
No.
He said matter-of-factly.
No. I get what you got. I get what you guys are doing. And I get what you guys are saying. I agree. I agree with 90% of what they're saying. My phone is not actively listening, except for I just said that and Amazon loaded up. No, I'm kidding. They are tracking you with more people than they are tracking migrants. But they are not doing it in the ways that you think they are doing it. Like, your microphone isn't turning on, trust me. Even if it is, it's only grabbing single words. Because the technology we have isn't that good. So if you're like, I'm going to buy a Apple couch, it's not going to immediately like try to sell you Apple Store stuff. Like, it's not... It's not smart enough to do that. It's smart enough to, like Steve said, bomb, kill, hate.
Name redacted.
These things, like the CIA is coming in right now.
I'm out. I have nothing to do with this.
Don't worry, boys. I can edit this later. Don't worry about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's used for harsh words using in certain sentences. It's all predictive program. It's that they're going to root out things. It's not, hey, I'm gonna buy a RV and I'm gonna go camping for 35 days. Your Facebook page isn't gonna throw up like everything you need for that. It's gonna basically your RV throw up sales in your area on Facebook Marketplace. It's not doing anything that's hurting anybody. They're just using early AI technology, and it's annoying to people because you've thought about it all week. You've typed it in the Facebook probably 12 times. You don't even know that you typed it in the Facebook 12 times. It's been in 8 comments. You sent 6 texts about it, and your phone goes, I think this person is interested in an RV. And then you're like, why are RVs on my phone all the time?
Yeah.
Because you've been looking at them on your phone all the time. Right?
That's how this works. It's not...
Yeah. It's kind of a lazy man's way of doing marketing research. I mean, I remember doing
it's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And it's kind of poor. It's kind of a Deadspin, kind of way of doing journalism. You kind of just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
I mean, Zuckerberg, man, he is lazy as all hell. He didn't even do his hair for a congressional hearing. Jeez, dude, you look like Beaker already. Like, why are you helping us?
I think, John, you've kind of hit on, it might hear you say RV in your microphone and it throws you, but that to me is not the bigger concern. The bigger concern is it's hearing you.
Yes.
It is seeing what you were doing. You know, we talked, was it last week about the FBI or was it 2 weeks ago? The FBI not having the search warrant to go through the bank vaults. I think that's the bigger concern. But, if we're going to get back into the stupid stuff, listen, Amazon.
You need it. You need it, by the way, Steve. You don't even know you need it. You're thinking about it and you need it.
No, here's what pisses me off about that stuff is like...
He's an alien, so...
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He's using technology we don't even know about.
It's one thing if I've searched for let's say a slow cooker.
Yep.
And so now I'm getting ads, hey, you looked up slow cooker. Here's a slow cooker that might fit your needs. Okay, that's fine. But if I've looked for a slow cooker and now I've purchased a slow cooker.
You need another slow cooker.
Why are you sending me ads for a slow cooker?
Right. You need another one. You know
about it. Why are you bombarding me? It's called artificial intelligence.
Well,
the intelligence ought to tell you, he bought a slow cooker. He probably does not need a second. Let's see if we can get him accessories for a slow cooker, not another slow cooker.
Just because it's called artificial intelligence does not mean that it is.
There is such a thing as artificial stupidity. Yeah.
Yes.
Artificial stupidity on top of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can assure you there is nothing artificial about stupidity.
No.
Completely natural.
It depends on what right-wing organization you asked about Joe Biden.
If there's artificial intelligence, there is natural stupidity. So there you go. I mean, at the end of the day. But yeah, I love this article. I thought it was hilarious. Because I know I've never had that kind of thing, but all of that, the points that were raised in the article, gents, made sense. Because it's literally like, I could remember doing all kinds of searches, for, looking up a particular product. Or it's like, okay, I'm a straight white male, ages 18 to 49. Everyone listens to me, that kind of from Homer. And it's like, you get bombarded with, what do you get? Sports, etc., and all that kind of good stuff. And, video games and whatnot, Lego sets and, all that kind of neat things. But the fact that I've never seen my phone kind of light up all of a sudden and say, hey, did you want this? Or something along those lines. It's always like, if there is a glitch, it's a glitch. You just learn to live with a glitch. That kind of a deal. But
it didn't beep at you and say, hey, Matt, over here.
No.
You didn't get a drug deal?
It's like I haven't asked for an Apple Vision Pro either.
Well, now your phone, later today, your phone's going to be like, psst, psst, Matt, $100.
It is locked right now.
$100. $100. We can get you
like right here.
VR.
Wait, what was that light flashing? What the hell?
But that's not because he said it. That's just because he's got Apple products, and so they're just going to push that on all their Apple. What's the word I'm looking for?
Apple's the biggest drug dealer in the world when it comes to Apple products.
Gentlemen, I don't know what you're talking about. Apple is the greatest thing ever. They're the greatest.
There's deepfake Matt again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I think he's just brainwashed.
Yeah, that too.
I'm telling you,
I'm back.
You're gonna get that VR sold to you by your phone. Like just as you get tired after dinner, your phone's gonna pop up and be like, "Yo, Matt, come here. We gotta talk. We gotta talk over here about this." That $3,500.
$3,500.
Yeah, that $3,500. That's up for you. You're not paying that price.
No. You can only afford it. Like if you buy it at $217 a month, you could buy it. Go on. Go on.
All right. You know what? Let's settle this. Let's settle this right now.
Oh boy.
All right. Ready? Here we go.
Okay,
Google.
Oh boy.
Are you listening to me?
Waiting.
Oh!
What do you say?
She just said that she has my full attention. That's frightening.
Yep.
All right. So the moral of today's story, children, is go forth and live off the grid in the woods.
Yes. Quickly.
Yeah. Very quickly.
Because chances are, if you don't, you're going to get run over by a dumbass with an Apple Vision Pro while they're driving.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Carrots, celery, onion. That's all you need.
And if you need something to burn while you're having, your fire pit outside of your log cabin, grab some Deadspin articles and you could throw that in there. That kind of a deal. So, see how it all ties nicely in. As long as you don't send $25 million to any CFO who doesn't look like what they're supposed to.
Man,
John's
God, damn it!
Oh boy.
Well. That is it for episode 176.
And probably for the rest of Too Noobs, because $25 million is right down the tube.
Because John said some words that have now triggered CIA response.
Oh, come on, Dubby, I need your drinks. Bring us some additional money quick.
177 might happen.
All right, so 177, folks, I am on my way to, I'm going to go drive now. I'm going to put this on, and we will see you next week, maybe.
Bye, Jeff Bezos.
Bye, Jeff Bezos. Hey, everyone. Thank you for spending time with us here at Two Noobs Talking. If you want more episodes of Two Noobs, our entire catalog of our podcasts are available here on our YouTube channel, or you could search for us on your favorite podcast listening platforms, such as Apple, Google, and Samsung Podcasts, along with YouTube Music and iHeartRadio, among others. Hey, while you're there, would you mind leaving us with a 5-star review? Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week with another great episode of Two Noobs Talking. Take care.